Using an external device is some of the most fun you can have when making beats, I think. So you've got your primary device that you'll probably be using as kind of like the brain of your operation. So for me, it would usually be the SP404 Mark II, or maybe the MPC Live 2 as well. Feeding sounds in from other gear is where you can have an amazing amount of fun. So I know the PO33 gets quite a lot of stick because of its size, and people often say it's a calculator, they don't really like it, it's too fiddly to use, but this for me is one of my favourite pieces of gear that I have in the studio. I use it for so much beat making, and not only can you use it to actually lay down beats, but you can use it just for processing samples as well. So I'm going to show you quickly how I would go about doing that. So for example here I'm down with the SP404 Mark II, and you've got the PO33 here, which doesn't want to stay still. That's one of the most annoying things about this actually, is when you put a cable in it, it likes to rotate itself like this. I don't know why it does that, but it happens more than it should. So here we go, I've got a sound loaded into pot 1 here. I just recorded it into pot 1. And what that'll do is kind of put it on a 16-note chromatic scale, and straight away you'll be able to preview all the different pitches with this sample, which I really, really like about this. So check this out. If I go ahead and press 10, for example, that's why I use this device. Just listen to the sound of that. It sounds absolutely amazing. I think that's almost impossible to recreate on the SP. You can get close, but this is just so much easier to do, so much less processing. You literally just have to record the sample into the device. Okay, so I made this little drum loop on the SP, which you can hear here. Okay, something a little bit fun, and then I can start jamming ideas with this really, really quickly. So check this out. So yeah, the PO33 in this example that I'm using is obviously very limited in what it can do, but this is where you can get your other devices to do the heavy lifting for you. So PO33 is really not that great at sequencing. You're limited to kind of one bar at a time, and you have to chain bars together in order to get like a full loop, so it's really, really convoluted and not very fun. So what I'm going to do instead is get my SP to do the heavy lifting for me. So I've sampled in those 3 chops, and we can see here, and there is some extra goodness going on with the bus effects. Let me just show you what I've got going on here. I've just got 303 vinyl compression on my master on bus 4, so nothing else on top. That's why you can hear that little crackle in the background. Listen to the sound of those. Sounds so nice. I absolutely love the PO33 for this. It just transforms samples and makes them sound absolutely amazing. So we've got those 3 sounds. We've still got this drum loop down here. And then what we've got is the flexibility to use everything on the SP to go ahead and tweak this even further. We could do some 404 vinyl sim. So that's without, and that's with. Let's turn that wobble up. So you could go ahead and process it with MFX. You could use the sequencer to lay down a full pattern and make variations in a full beat. You could use resample to just resample that into a loop and have a bit of fun with it. So this was my big point really. Gear can quite easily get written off, like the PO33, for being a bit too fiddly and a bit annoying, but you can use it in conjunction with something else and get some really super nice lo-fi tones from it. Hopefully you could hear from that example how good of a job it can do of just transforming the sound of samples and really warming them up and making them sound nice. And yeah, if you've got more than one piece of gear, try pairing them together. You'll be surprised at the results. And if you are just working on one piece of gear, definitely consider it in the future getting another piece of gear to work as like a companion with it, because you can have so much fun pairing samplers together. It really does open things up quite a lot.